So first we just want to introduce ourselves. So we have Dr. Jen Jacobs with us, and I'm Caitlin.
I'm Anna.
And so we just have some questions for you.
Absolutely.
So first, how and when did you decide that you wanted to pursue a career in coaching?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I didn't. I was not looking to get into coaching. I honestly went through my 4 years of undergrad, and my coach would say, like, you should think about coaching. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. No real reason why. I just didn't want to. I also didn't know what I wanted to do overall. But I ended up working in K-12 for right out of college. Okay. And so I was like doing kind of a special ed classroom. I was psych degree, major, so I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. But I would say I backed my way into it, honestly. I was working K-12 in the cities, and there was a assistant volleyball, assistant athletic director job open at Augsburg. And the athletic director at the high school I was working at said, hey, you should take a look at this job. I think it'd be really good. I was originally looking, as I got into my career, I was looking at K-12 administration, and then the job at Augsburg came open, which was it was both.
Okay.
And which was a perfect fit for me. And then the former AD at Augustana called me after 5 years at Augsburg and was like, hey, I have a head volleyball job open. I know that you're looking for full-time admin, but I have this, come and check it out. So that's kind of how I ended up here in 2017. So kind of backwards. I backed my way into it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What is your coaching philosophy, or what do you think is important when you're building your team?
Yeah, I really like the Division 2 or 3 model. I mean, I know that some Division 1s operate this way too, but we really I like to mentor the whole person as a student athlete. I think that's really important to me, particularly women. I believe in women coaching women. Not that I don't like men. I'm married to one.
Yeah.
But I really just believe that women need to see other women working together, being able to work through conflict together that's healthy. We're just not socialized like that as women. So yes, it's volleyball in a sport I love. Yes, it's in a higher ed institutions. I love education. So I come from an education background, honestly, and trying to just mold and help shape the next generation, really. I'm really a big believer in women supporting women.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's important for women's coaches.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
it really is.
It's crazy, yeah.
We didn't have this on here, but I guess we can talk about it. I know that you kind of recently got your doctorate degree.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about your journey with that and balancing coaching?
And being a mom. So.
Yeah.
I am so glad it's done. I've always wanted my doctorate. It's been on my head since I graduated. Once I was done, I was like, someday I know I'm going to get it. And I think that the timing was just worked. Everything happens for a reason. I really believe that. And whether it was God looking over us or what, but Scott and I were looking because he always wanted to get his too. And I was actually getting really nervous and hypersensitive because I was nervous that he was going to get his first and then I wouldn't get to finish. Just being a mom, it's just different. It's just different being a mom as a parent. And the demands that are on mothers are very different than what they are on fathers. Doesn't matter how active a dad is, it's just a different demand. And so I was really nervous and I was really starting to get anxious about it. And then the program at USF came up and it's kind of crazy. We had Junie I had Junie, not we, technically. I physically had Junie in May of 19. COVID happened in 2020. We started the program in June of 21.
Wow.
So we didn't really stop.
Yeah.
We went right from babyhood to okay, now we're in our program. But it was a grind. It was an accelerated program, or is an accelerated program. It was Thursday nights. That was our date night for 3 years straight. We went to class together, and we had some 17 to 25 or some odd individual babysitters that would be with Junie on Thursday nights. But she was also easy at that time. She was she was, I don't know, a year old, so she would just hang out and play, and it wasn't, I don't know, high maintenance either.
Yeah, right.
So it just was the perfect timing, right time, right place. Yeah, and I've always wanted a terminal degree, so that was just, it's a no-brainer of what or whatever. It was just when. But I was getting really anxious that Scott was gonna get his first because I really wanted to beat him. Which I didn't. I was pissed about. Not gonna lie. He ended up defending before me, and I was like, "You see, women. That's what happens. We just get pushed to the side to the end." I was so mad. I was like, yeah. And he is so funny because he is competitive, but he's not with stuff like that, but he, like, doesn't understand. Like, he's a dude, so he's just like, I mean, you'll get it, you'll be done. And I was like, you have no idea how mad I am that you guys have first. I was like, that is the privilege of being a man. You're welcome.
It's so funny, because he does mention, like, in class so much, just, like, especially in the, like, diversity and, like, ethics, he talks about it, like, a lot, and he just, like, mentions you a lot and stuff like that.
Oh my
so
God.
I can tell that you do show him what it's like, because he has talked to us a lot about that.
He
so.
has to. Like, the dude's got it so easy. Men have it so easy. I don't care what anybody says. And I say this with all the love.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. He has to hear it. He hears it every day. He can take it.
So, how do you keep your players motivated when they're struggling to perform or just going through a rough patch in general?
Yeah.
Or even not motivated, just helping them through those patches.
Yeah. We do kind of your regular scheduled every other week individual meetings with players. This was the first year, honestly, that we did. So because Emma's been here before and she kind of knows the drill now, and kind of has her footing. This was the first year we did. They would meet every other time with me, which was interesting. And then they would meet the other time with the assistant coaches. And so I liked that year, that, like, cadence. It gave them a little bit of a different, like, vibe or conversation. And we used to meet all the time with all of them. Like, it would be, like, all three coaches and a player, which got a little unbalanced, like, numbers-wise. It just took a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So we do those regular check-ins that we really don't... I mean, we talk about volleyball, but more of it's just, like, how's life, what's happening in school, what's happening outside of things. And I feel like our players, you know, if they have something going on, they do come to us on any given day or moment. We have a very, like... I come from a psych background, but I'm a very, like... it's open communication, open door, but it's very, like... You can come in here and vent, but they've got to tell me, like, I just need to come in here and vent and get it off my chest and I'm good, or, like, I need help with this. So, like, we're very clear on, like, what kind of verbiage they need to use so that we know, do you want our help? Do you want us to fix it or not? And usually when they're in here, if they start to share something, I'll be like, okay, you have a 24-hour rule, so if it's something you can't get over, you got to address it within 24 hours, or you got to get over it in 24 hours, that's the thing. Or if you want our help, you have to let us know that you want us help. And a lot of players just come in there, it's like, I just got to vent about this and I'm done. Yeah. Just get it off get it off our chest. So yeah, there's that. We have very high achievers, which I'm sure you guys see too. And so they want to win. As far as their own rough patches on the court, it's like just managing expectations. Volleyball's similar to A&T, it's a perfection sport. Like, it's minuscule. Like, I don't know, you just hit the ball a little bit like this and it goes out of bounds and it's cost a point. Like, that kind of stuff is hard for perfectionists to do well in sometimes. So we just kind of manage expectations a lot. We try to encourage them to give grace as much as possible to their own selves, which is really hard to do. I think as women, we don't do it either in general.
True.
So
I feel like that's a big thing we talked about this year too. Well, and, like, learning it too, because going from being an athlete to coaching it, like, it's so different. Yeah. And everybody, like, I know how I looked at things, but that's so different from everyone else. So just hearing all of the different perspectives this year was, like, eye-opening. Yeah.
We had a player today actually at the lunch with our recruit. What did she said, like, the recruiter asked the thing about, like, team environment, and this player was like, oh, yeah, she's like, I don't know, we have, like, everyone really gets along, we really are close, and she's like, our personalities all, like, really manage well together, and, like, work well together, and they bounce off each other, and she's like, so that's really cool, I've never had that happen, and I was like, you're welcome. Like, that was by design. She's like, I don't know how it happened. I'm like, years of recruiting work that we did to, like, figure out who the heck you all are. But it was pretty funny.
So then, like, speaking of recruiting, what are some things that, like, a high school athlete could do to kind of prepare for the next phase? And
I mean, we specifically look for really, really good people, just well-rounded people. Like, are they good to their parents? Are they good to their siblings? Are they good to their friends? The teammate aspect is so important to us in general. We don't have any drama on our team. Like, literally we don't, and that I know of. So that's number one. But yeah, I mean, I actually was just going through recruiting emails just now. We're getting better, and we have depth now. So physically, we can look on a film and see a kid live and be like, yeah, you could play for us physically or not. It's just, that's the easy part. The next part is, like, where do you fit in personality-wise with the team? We always look for value adds, not, like, good fits. We look for people who are going to bring something new to the table. So, like, the kid that was here yesterday that we overlapped with, so bubbly. We have one really bubbly kid on our team right now. I mean, they are social, but like this one is over the top bubbly, and she can wear out some kids. And so this kid we just offered is 26, so like they'll be 2 years apart, but she's like that. So we're like, we need a little bit of balance, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love
work
that.
hard, be good teammates.
Don't be afraid to like be different or be yourself. I guess.
Yes, yeah, be yourself. Yeah, for sure.
Then one of our last ones here is just how do you measure your success as a coach?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the hard part. And Scott and I talk about this all the time. Like, we are measured in wins and losses, like, period.
Yeah.
It is really hard being... I mean, I think I've changed. I'm not perfect, but over the years, I've gotten better at remembering why I'm here. It's hard when you have, like, what we would consider 2 losing seasons in a row. Like, we didn't make the conference tournament the last 2 years, but we're 1 match out.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, everybody on our team above us, or in our conference is ranked. So it's just that, like, you constantly have to, like, remind yourself of that. Not that it's an excuse, but just tempering those, like, being realistic. And it's hard at Augie, too, I think, just in general, because someone's always in the postseason at Augie. Always. Like, it's expected. Like, I remember my first year here, and, first and second year, and it happens every year, but there's always 5 to 10 coach of the years. And so as a coach coming into that group, you're like, holy shit, like, this is intimidating. Like, I gotta get on my, like, what am I doing? Like, I gotta, win. But if you do that, you can, like, turn into a psycho. And you just don't, it's a constant balance of, like, okay. And believing, I think, I do believe that the teams that are the closest, or at least have the most respect for each other, like, as players on and off the court, that's the team that's gonna win the longest. Like, sustainably, right?
Longevity.
Like, longevity. They're going to be good for a long time versus, like, having, like, 1 great peak year and then maybe down.
Yes,
so, like, we've been working over the past kind of 6 to 8 years to level that out.
Yeah.
And I think we're there. We have way more depth than we've ever had. We had some good years, for sure, with, like, Erica Butte and Micaiah Kreiner's years, so, like, 19, 20, and 21. And then we took a little dip, and so now we're kind of, like, leveling that back out a little bit. So
yeah, that's how. Well, I was a swimmer here.
Yeah,
and that's how we're facing that battle right now. Of just like we're losing a lot of people, so building back up.
Yes,
and like making sure that doesn't happen.
Yes,
in 4, 8, 12 years is like getting a huge class.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And I think I say this all the time to our higher ups that, like, we just don't. It's just not recognized. Like, we haven't had. I've been here I'm going into my 9th season. I've had 2 people leave. One because the parents forced them to go back home and it was closer, and the other one left my first year here as a new head coach. Like, so people
that's a
don't
big
leave.
deal.
That's a big deal, and you don't get, like, recognized.
That's
or
crazy.
like we just don't have people leave. Like, people come here, they want to stay, they want to be part of the program. It's getting harder now to get into the program. Like, we were definitely turning away more people than I've ever done before, because we don't have the space for them, and they're really good athletes. So we're getting to be able to be a little bit more selective in that. But yeah, people, like, the word's out that this is a good place to be. As a family environment, volleyball, school wise, all of the things, and so it's like people are wanting to be involved. But yeah, it's that constant reminder. I mean, you want to get people graduated in 4 years and onto their careers and onto life, and I think my favorite thing, this is like a soapbox. My favorite thing, or, like, it's not how I necessarily judge success, but it's the thing that, like, I don't even tell anybody this stuff. It's, like, stuff that's, like, in me. I'm like, yeah, like, got it. Like, when you can see someone's growth, like, as a full person. There's one athlete that I think of that, would be in here as a freshman and didn't get playing time, thought she should, the whole deal, and she just hated life, hated me, would be bawling, angry, all the things. By her 5th year, senior year, she was just, like, the most confident, cool, collected person you've ever seen. She's just like, yeah, I got this, blah, blah, blah. It's that growth that you get to be a part of. A horrible hard time during it. Like, I mean, I could have strangled her because I was just like, you can't see this. But you just, that time and those relationships over that time, like, just killing it now. I also had a really good compliment from a recent player who struggled, too, with playing time and kind of not understanding why or what her playing time was like or whatever. I heard from somebody else, somebody asked her, a coach on the road asked her, like, what was her favorite thing about, like, our program, and she said, like, and this person reported back, she said that Jen's the most genuine person I ever met. Like, that's a huge compliment to me. Like, what I'm trying to get out is is coming out, like they're feeling that, you know.
I love that.
Oh my God, that like sent me over the moon. It was just like yes, she got that part. She might have hated her everything else, but like I was genuine in the whole process.
Like at least she knew that you had her back. And
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So our last question is just advice to future coaches. People aspiring
advice to future coaches. Yeah, for women in particular, it is possible you can do it. Like we gotta keep grinding. I think finding support systems, finding good places to be for women are important. Coaching staffs are important. I'm very picky about who my assistant coaches are. I will never, knock on wood, but never, I can't legally say this, but I will never hire a male assistant coach. I've seen too many male assistant coaches pushing out their female head coach. So I just, as a woman I wouldn't, as a male I'd be like whatever, because I don't have that problem because I have privilege as a male. But I'm just very cognizant of that. Yeah, and then just making sure that support systems are there. I just got done speaking at the Tucker Center at the University of Minnesota on last Thursday, Friday. And ironically, one of the biggest roundtable discussions that came up was how to support moms in coaching. Because that's when coaches drop off, is when they start having kids, for women anyway. And like we coach at the Tucker Center, they're diving into some research on that, on how do we support moms.
That'll be great. I think that'll be a big thing going into the future.
Yeah,
like,
it's huge.
Yeah. Because you see, like, they out of college, like, women want to coach, and then they end up having, like, maybe they want to, or they have to choose a different career once they, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it's hard. It's also, like, it's just different. Like, it's just it's the way our society is, and so you have to, like, constantly counteract it, and it's not easy. Like, I had a player this year tell me that she thought when Junior was around in this office privately that sometimes that my attention was divided. And I was like, I cried. You know, I went home and I was like, you have no idea how much I'm giving to you. You know what I mean? Like, you had that whole process. I could have walked away that day. Like, I was like, and I'm done. And everyone was like, are you okay? I was like, I'm done. I'm quitting. Because the matter of it, like, if I had to choose between the team and my daughter, it's not going to be the team.
Exactly, yeah.
But I waited a week. Brett, like, took some breathers, and then came back and had a conversation with that player. And I just said, she's going to be around. Like, she's going to be around. And she's only 5, just turned 6. She's trying to navigate what's mom like as a coach. Like, here's my mom, but I know she's, like, got to spend all this time with these people. Like, what does that look like? And so we're trying to figure out as a family, too. So, yeah, like, having supportive people around and supportive admin, and then being able to be like, this is just how it's going to be. Like, I ultimately ended up saying to this player, I said, maybe it's not the place for you. Like, she's going to be around.
Yeah.
And getting to a space of confidence of just knowing that, like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, if you two are in a burning building, I'm not saving you first. I love you, and I love my daughter more. Like, that's just the fact.
Yeah.
So she got that. She was fine with that.
Yeah.
I think she had to realize what she was, saying.
And sometimes, like, I guess, like, when you're a player, like, you say things, but then, like, now I'm, like, more of a coach, I realize, like, those things I said, like, probably really resonated with my coach. And so it's like on the other end, it's like, okay, I probably should watch what I'm saying more. So that's good that you, like, had a conversation with them and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think, some, advice, just being able to find the support and staying in good places or staying with good people. It's really important. I've been fortunate to be in some good spaces where the people were really good. When I was at Augsburg, Jane Becker, the former head coach I worked with, awesome. Like, she just was, so we're still good friends now, you know? And then here, having Michelle first and then Emma, like, it's just been good.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Is this for a paper now, or you have to present this?
This is, like, our term project, so we've done, like, a few interviews for our podcast that we made.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a podcast. That's right. You told me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. If you have any more, send them my way.
Awesome.
Surely.
Yeah.